You finish the last episode of an anime series. The credits roll. The story is obviously not finished. There are unresolved arcs, unanswered questions, characters whose fates are entirely unclear, and yet the season ends. Usually at episode 12 or 13 or 24. Why these numbers specifically? The answer has almost nothing to do with storytelling. It has everything to do with Japanese television scheduling, and a system that divided the broadcast calendar into 4 slots of exactly 13 weeks each. This is called the Cour system. A cour is a unit of broadcast time borrowed from French, meaning course or quarter. Japanese television divides its year into 4 cours: the winter cour from January through March, the spring cour from April through June, the summer cour from July through September, and the autumn cour from October through December. Each cour is 13 weeks long. An anime that is licensed for one cour gets 12 to 13 episodes. 13 weeks minus 1 week for a national holiday or production slip. An anime that performs well enough to be renewed for a second cour gets 24 or 26. A long-running series like Naruto or One Piece runs for dozens of cours over many years, which is how their episode counts reach the hundreds. But why did this structure emerge in the first place? The cour format was inherited from American television, which Japanese broadcasters imported after the Second World War. American networks ran programs in quarterly windows because advertisers bought airtime by the quarter. Sponsors committed to a full season of slots, so programming had to fill the slot. Anime inherited the format when it began filling broadcast slots in the 1960s. And the format stuck. Here is the thing. The cour slot is now deeply woven into the economics of anime production. A typical episode of anime costs between $100,000 and $300,000 to produce, depending on the studio and the animation quality. A single cour of 12 episodes costs between $1 and $4 million. That money is raised through a structure called the production committee, a consortium of companies: the animation studio, a manga publisher, a music label, a merchandise company, sometimes a streaming platform that pools funding upfront in exchange for the rights each party cares about. The music label gets the soundtrack. The merchandise company gets the toys. The streaming platform gets international distribution. The studio gets the production fee. The critical point is that the committee commits to funding exactly one cour. Getting a second cour requires renegotiating the entire consortium from scratch. This is why so many anime series end without resolution. What the committee agreed to fund was 12 episodes. Whether a second season ever happens depends on commercial performance. Historically, Blu-ray and disc sales with a figure of around 3,000 to 5,000 units per volume considered a threshold for success. A series that sold poorly would receive one cour and a somewhat unresolved ending. A series that sold well might be renewed months or even a year later. Streaming has adjusted some of this. Netflix and Crunchyroll now commission anime directly, sometimes funding full season orders up front and bypassing the committee structure. Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen both operated under modified arrangements that allowed more production flexibility. But the cour system has not disappeared. It still governs the broadcast calendar in Japan, and most anime continues to be produced within its 13-week unit. There is an irony here. The cour constraint has so thoroughly shaped how anime is produced that it has also shaped how audiences read it. A 12-episode series is expected to resolve its central premise, even if it leaves space for more. A 24-episode series can afford a slower build. Viewers have internalized the structure so completely that episode count now functions as a genre signal. 12 episodes, tightly plotted, compressed, probably satisfying within its limits. 50 episodes, looser, probably with filler. The container teaches you how to watch. The story had to fit the broadcast slot, and over 60 years the broadcast slot has quietly shaped what we expect a story to be. Now you know.